wondered why you fixate on that one person, why you ignore the rest of the people who are equally, if not better, candidates of your heart? Well, the reason for that lies not in biology. Let's take a step back in time. Now, a very long time ago, there were three kinds of humans. Males who were from the sun, females from the earth, and androgynous with both male and female elements from the moon. They were round like their parent planets, had 4 arms, 4 legs, and 2 faces on either side of your head. Now, they were so powerful and unruly, like lovers are, that the Greek god Zeus was annoyed. He said, I've had enough. He sliced them into half like a sob apple being halved for pickling and scattered them around the earth. Well, each half, the human being that is, searched and longed to find the other half. And in case they did find, they would wrap themselves around so tightly and never let go. So I believe that our propensity to fall in love is not a genetically determined need to procreate. It's an intrinsic desire to be whole again, to melt into that other person so that our souls can together become one. It is a need to share a common fate of refinement. 2 people, I believe, who are in this sort of spiritual compatibility make one person. And it is this person from which we can draw in immense courage, immense drive. Now, as we fall in love, there is a temporary collapse of our ego boundaries. We see people, places, things in an entirely new light. The ring of a phone can make your heart skip a beat. Songs, movies, books that until now made absolutely no sense, you would start to believe was sung for you, written for you, or made for you. And you would just say, wait, am I being watched right now? You see the whole world in an entirely new and different way, and this allows you to tap on a thus far unused store of creativity. You are happier, you're more efficient, and a recent survey indicates that you are more healthier. Your natural fight or flight instinct takes a backseat. You're relaxed, you're happy, you're satisfied, and you can approach any task or challenge in a new and exciting way. The novelty always remains. The main motive for us as humans is expansion of the self. As we walk around this planet, each of us have a subconscious checklist of what we would want in our other half. This could be physical attributes, emotional attributes, political ideologies, psychological compatibility, and this allows us to filter them as and when they approach us, and that other half has for us the secret of self-expansion. Now, my textbooks, as I try to read and find out why we're in love, tell me that it's coded for in your genes. When and why you're going to be falling in love, where you're going to be falling in love, well, I beg to differ. Because love happens like the way car crashes do, like accidents. You just don't know what hit you. But when you do, you realize that you're high 1 minute and low the next. You're confident and then you're shy. You're hot and then you're cold. You're starving, hungry, but you can't eat. You want to sleep, but you really can't. It's like being stuck in a tornado, and yet you're drifting sweetly, steadily towards that one person always. And he may break your heart, but he even breaks your heart in the right way, if you know what I mean. And sometimes it's just picking up these pieces, taping them together for a hope of a better tomorrow. Now, falling in love can be frightening, but it's also the beginning. It's the beginning of something incredible, something new, something true, something that's worth having, something that's worth missing, something that's worth waiting for, and something, if you let it, that will change your life. Back to you, Toastmasters.